Hickok 45 here. You know what we're about, for those of you who can read. The last AK I'd ever sell, or maybe the first 4 I would sell. Yeah, something like that. Anyway, here we are with all of my AKs. And some of you are probably surprised. You mean you don't have 27? I don't. I confess, just a mere 5. I haven't overdone it as much on AKs as maybe on some other firearms. And I've overdone it even less on some firearms, believe it or not. So, the task as usual in this series, where I decide what the last one is that I would give up, is to just kind of go through briefly on what I have and maybe circumstances around acquiring it, and then kind of end up with the last, well, the finalists, and then one, if I had to give the others up, what it would be. I'm not selling anything, again, YouTube, okay? It's the last one I give up, what we're talking about here, and you all know that. We've done it with, wow, lever guns and shotguns and everything. So, yep, here they are. This one, just what they are quickly, this is the SGL-20 Arsenal. This is a Chinese AKS, and this one has, this is my Select Fire. It's been converted, so it's a Chinese AK. It's actually called AK-47, I think. Was it S they got on there? Yeah, but that's irrelevant, kind of. The Sears what's registered. And then this is my SAM-7 SF Arsenal. This is another Chinese. Both of these last ones are basically AKS 762 models, as they're called. Okay, AKS 762 Polytech, and this one basically the same marking, Polytech AKS 762. It's just that it's the spiker model, and which is kind of rare actually. And then this one especially, the folder, because it was shipped this way, so that there weren't many of those made available. That's very collectible. And it's wonderful to shoot. And that's what I have. And guess what? They're all chambered in. Yeah, 7.62 by 39. Nothing wrong with the, was it 5.45 by 39? Nothing wrong with that. It's a great round. It's what they use around the world in a lot of places now. I just always, with the AK, I wanted a 7.62 by 39. I like that round, 30 caliber. If I want an itty bitty really fast round, I just prefer 5.56, in an AR format. But I have to decide which of these would be my last one to let go. And I tell you, this is one of the toughest decisions. I guess partly because I just have 5. So in a way, just by definition, they are kind of finalists. You know how I do sometimes. I gather my collection up into 3 or 4 finalists, and these sort of are my finalists. They were kind of hand-picked. They're all good AKs, not that there aren't other great AKs. And the first one in this group that I bought was the SGL-20, this one right here. I had some of you might remember a Wasser back that we did a video with many years ago. And that's the one that kind of got me really hooked on the AK. After I had that a while, and I got a stock on it that would extend, and I could shoulder it and shoot, this Wasser, and the reliability of it, just the fun I had with it. Oh boy, I think I really like AKs now that you can get them, and you can get stocks and make them like a real rifle for somebody my size especially. And that's what led me to search for a better AK maybe. I think I like AKs, and so I did some study and research, and I learned that Arsenal is making really good ones. And this one actually, Russian Arsenal, Saiga, whatever Saiga, finished in Las Vegas. But this SGL-20 is pretty desirable, and I've shot this a fair amount. Just a wonderful gun. I remember getting that cold rainy night down in around Murfreesboro at Outpost Armory, and I found that thing. Was so happy to get it, and I still like it a lot. And after that, I got the SAM-7, and this is my second SAM-7. The first one that you might remember, we sold to a dealer here and then converted it and all that kind of thing. For a while, we thought we could actually convert it ourselves or own it or convert it, and it didn't work out so well. So we sold to them. and let them have it. And this one, though, is a kind of replacement. I still like the SAM 7 a lot, and many of you do too. And this is the Chinese. Let's see, in terms of the Chinese AKs, I guess which one did I get first? I think this one, the folder, and that thing is rare, and that's a great one right there, man. It feels wonderful. Almost feels better than the SAM 7, and you got all the same features in a lot of ways there. So that's a nice one. I like that one a lot. And I got I got this one here, the Select Fire. Yep, the SEER is what's registered. It's got the serial number on it, and yep, it's a Select Fire. Y'all seen it in action, I hope. You got the full auto, semi-auto, and safe. So that, of course, is a prize firearm. That one was not cheap, as you know. And then I bought this one. Why? Because I put so much money in this Select Fire Spiker. I found this one, I guess, Gunbroker, and I thought, it's worth it to have this one just for parts, if nothing else, you know. And so that was kind of the thought process on getting this one. And they're kind of rare, and this is a really nice one, you know, AKS 762 Polytech. And so I kind of changed my mind on that. I'm not going to cannibalize that one just for parts. If I need a part for this one, I'll just find it online and buy a part that I need to do. Things that I could replace, like if I need a pistol grip or something, or a new bayonet, because I deer hunt so much with it and do so much field dressing. I need that. Okay, so that's kind of how they came about. Now, many of you are thinking right now, other than what an idiot Hickok 45 is, you're thinking, well, there's no contest there, obviously. You got one that will fire full auto. You know, so why are you even going through this process? Well, I got news for you. I like, just coming off, get that screw. I like the full auto, of course. I decided years ago, if I ever got another full auto Select Fire firearm, I think it'd be an AK. And that's what I did. And it is fine. You know, I enjoy shooting it, but it's not my last one to keep. I know that right away. It's one I can eliminate as being the last one I'd ever sell or keep. And so what would be the reasons? I don't know. You tell me. Well, if I'm just going to have one AK, because I like these things because I really like the cartridge. They're fun to shoot and all that kind of thing. The full auto capability is not the main thing for me at all. That was just a little icing on the cake for this one. Okay. And you know, I can kind of take it or leave it. It's fun. So it could be the first one I sell. It's worth a lot of money. I don't know. So I'm gonna eliminate it. In fact, I'm gonna put it over here, and I'm gonna make some of you sick. You're just wondering what in the world is wrong with my brain, right? You know, again, and as I talk about some of the others, it's not my favorite AK. I like it. It's a Chinese AK, and they're made very, very well. But there's some limitations. Like if I don't know, I wanted to drive up to Kentucky to visit someone and do some shooting. I can't take that. You know, I could go through this paperwork process if I know what weeks or months in advance and ask for permission to do it and all that sort of thing. So you do have limitations. If I decide I want AK as my primary home defense rifle, you know, there's a lot of different schools of thought on that, but you have to think twice about that. Oh, it's going to be my full auto AK, of course. Well, what if you had to shoot with a full auto AK? And so, boy, talk about opening up cans of worms probably and all that sort of thing. Legal issues maybe, I don't know. Courtroom drama that you could easily avoid. So anyway, I don't see it as being as versatile. A full auto, a Select Fire firearm in these days, it's kind of a novelty. It is a range toy, more or less, okay? So I'm gonna eliminate it. Okay, give me a hard time about that. Now, of the four that are left, what would I say here? Well, I want one that I enjoy shooting and shoots well and reliable, durable, and of course all four of these would fit that description. These are all semi-auto only, of course. And I'm partial to Arsenal, even though the Chinese AKs are made really, really well. And I'm also partial to a stock that fits me. And I like the folding stocks because they fold, imagine that, and also they fit me. They're NATO length. So that's pretty cool. Now this one does, it goes way out. It really extends, but I could change them out. So I really like it. So anyway, I'm going to eliminate also the spiker. All right, spikers are so cool, no doubt about it. But I do kind of like the folding stocks, and definitely one that is adjustable. So I'm going to eliminate that one. Now again, when I do this, I'm not saying what I'm eliminating is junk. You don't realize that. I'm setting up a hypothetical here where, for whatever the reason is, I'm broke, need the money, or some kind of crazy law, God forbid. So I'm down to 3. The attraction of these two is that, they just feel wonderful. They both have great triggers. The Sam 7 and the stocks are great. They fold really well. And when you open them up, they're solid, and they're not flimsy stocks like some of those underfolder things, or like child's toys to me. So that's cool. This one is cool, extra cool, because I don't really like the stock. I like the feel of it, but John gives me a hard time about that. I need to replace that stock and just get a NATO AK stock, full length, or do something else with that. This looks like something you put on your Mall Ninja AR, or something in a way. But now it feels good. It feels good. It's just that I've stuck it on a Russian-made AK, an SGL-20. And I do like also, I've got the Krebs peep sight on this, and I tried to put that on all of them. I had it on my other Sam 7, and I got one to put on this Sam 7. I've tried twice, and I have given up. I just couldn't get it on. Got it in a rifle vise and everything, and I finally had to admit defeat. So I'll maybe get a gunsmith to do that for me at some point. So this one is very desirable. And if I were taking collectability into account and value, you notice I'm not taking value into account. And I typically don't do that in these videos. The value of it, and if there's one that's extremely sentimental, I eliminate that right away, because that's an obvious choice. So I'd eliminate that sort of thing, and I'm not considering the value of them. You can't ignore the fact that this one is an SGL-20, probably more valuable as a collector than the Sam 7. But I'm mainly focusing on the criteria. Mainly is just shootability for the next 20, 30. Of course, I'll live another 50 years or however long it is. Have an AK that works. I can replace parts, and it just works, and I like it. Okay, so that's the main criteria. So of these 3, I've got to eliminate one of them. And I love these folding stocks. I love, I don't require a milled receiver in an AK. I mean, I've got 5 here, good ones, I think, and only one of them has a milled receiver. So I don't necessarily require that, or something I have to have, but I do like that. And that's a nice thing about this one, plus the folding stock. So of the arsenals, it's a tough choice. I've shot this one a lot. It's so smooth. But I'm going to eliminate it. If I keep an Arsenal as my last, AK ever, and of course I can put my Krebs on that if I can get it on there. So I'm going to eliminate the SGL-20. All right. It may be, I don't know what that thing. I think the Sam 7s now sell for around 25 or something. I think they're available still. I don't know if you can find an SGL-20. They're not as easily available, and it may be worth twice what this one is. I don't know, but I'm not looking at the value. So what am I down to? I'm down to these 2. You think I should shoot them a little bit to help me out? I guess I'm partial to folding stocks, aren't I? Boy, I hate to get both these dirty. You think y'all are worth it? I haven't fired this one in forever. All right, let's do it though. I got a metal mag out here. You just need a metal magazine with a Chinese AK. That's a pretty AK, isn't it? And the folding stock doesn't lock in like the Sam 7 up here, latch in, but it doesn't really matter. But it's nice and solid. It really is. Yeah, that's a pretty thing. It really is. So let me fire it. Maybe that'll help me. All right. I remember where to hold. Oh boy. Well, I like this thing. Yeah, I bet it'll even smoke pot. Still. Yeah, man, it'll even bolt. Nice gun, nice gun. How could I let that thing go? A beautiful Chinese AK. Some of you hate Chinese AKs, right? Now I got 3 Chinese AKs on the table. Y'all, hopefully you've seen some of our videos on these, you know, just in case you haven't. I didn't support the current Chinese government like last week and buy AKs from them. These are all from the 80s, okay? From the 80s. And they have an incredible reputation for the way they're made. If people who really know AKs will attest to that. There may be some disagreement, but people who know AKs know that the Chinese AKs, by and large, are well made, all right? So get that out of your head in terms of junk. All right. So this one, Sam 7. How come I always come back to the Sam 7? Let's shoot the thing, see if that helps me. These are both really, really sweet. They fit me. Oh, they fit me like a glove. All right, Sam 7. They both have nice triggers. Sweet. The sights on the Chinese are a little easier to see. Yeah, man. Good old. Yeah. Oh boy, the good old Sam 7. If you've ever fired a Sam 7, you know what I'm talking about. Again, I don't have to have a milled receiver. I think it has just enough weight. You know, people would argue that it makes it a little stiffer and might last longer and all that kind of thing. After you fire 879,000 rounds, maybe it would outlast the other. I don't know. There's not a problem, you know, with the others, the AKM style. So I got to decide between these two. It's up to you all. What's your choice? Which one would you keep? Now, some of you that don't know AKs too well, like I do, and I always would say that I took the easy way out. I got arsenals early on once I realized I like AKs, and everybody pretty much agrees they're nice AKs. Everybody doesn't agree on Chinese AKs. But some people who don't know AKs very well automatically default to like a traditional AK like this with wooden furniture, because that's just what an AK ought to look like, you know, they think, and you know, they are. That's right, the older ones, right? So it's more attractive in appearance to a lot of people, and to me too, I'll have to say. I kind of like the wood. So I would be happy with either one of these. I really would. I have full confidence in either one. It's interesting that this folding AKS 7.62 Chinese model is rather collectible, but I'm not letting that shade my opinion. I mean, you could buy one of these today. You could go on, I'm sure, auctions or even a gun shop somewhere and find one. You know, a Sam 7. So that's interesting because it is a highly desirable AK. So I'm going to assume that I'm either smart enough to get the Krebs peep sight on this one, or that I know a gunsmith who can do it, because I can't do it. I don't know why I put 2 or 3 of them on in my life, but I can't seem to do it on this one. I'm going to assume I can get that done, and I am just going to be boring old Hickok 45, and I'm going to keep the Sam 7. You know, I think many of you have known that it's my favorite AK for a good while. And even though I have some other nice ones, this one still wins out for me. And I'm just gonna stay loyal to the Sam 7 Arsenal. Okay, these are made in Bulgaria, pretty much, and I mean, they ship all the parts in, and then Arsenal of Las Vegas, you know, puts them together, reconfigures what you need to do, the trigger guard and that kind of thing, to make them like real AKs, right? Getting around, or not getting around, but there's certain import restrictions. You know, they can't just ship it in this format. So this is it, the folding stock and everything. I'm partial to that folding stock. It's an Arsenal. Little question that it's going to probably last very, very well. And if I get that sight replaced, so I guess it's the winter, so I should shoot it again. Think? Sounds like a good excuse to me. Oh yeah. And you know, even though maybe it's not as pretty as the wooden furniture AKs, it's attractive in a kind of its own special ugly way, right? All right. Oh man, little pot to smoke, pins to shoot right here. Oh boy. Where's that front sight? Can't believe I've not painted the front sight yet on this thing. That was the last round, and that was a hit on the last round. So you can give me a hard time about my choice, but going forward, yeah, I turned down a Select Fire AK. Am I crazy? But for the reasons I talked about, I just like the round. I like the guns. They're so reliable. They're fun to shoot. That little 30 caliber intermediate cartridge is just a blast to shoot. And I'm fine. Semi-auto is fine. You don't have to have Select Fire, do you? You know, I had an Uzi back in the 80s. I sold the thing. You know, didn't have Select Fire for a long time. Decided to get an AK. I can take it or leave it. It's the gun, the cartridge, the way they shoot. That's the most important thing to me. So, Sam 7 Arsenal, there you go. I expect a check from Arsenal after this video. Don't you think they should send me some money? Just kidding. Okay, what would you choose? Of my 5, what would you, well, or of any AK, if you had just one AK, what would you choose? So, glad you came by to help me make this decision. Didn't give y'all much input, I'm sorry. Life is good.
Oh yeah, that's better. This is a great gun for defense. Oh hey, didn't see you guys there. While I've got you here, I want to remind you of our friends over at Talon Grips and Ballistol. Talon Grips makes grips, can you believe it, for all different types of firearms. You can get rough texture or more of a rubberized texture. It just sticks right on there. You know, really affordable, really cool option to improve the grip for your handguns or rifles. So please check them out at talongungrips.com. You'll be glad you did. And also Ballistol. Dad has been using Ballistol for many years. It's a cleaner and a lubricant, and it's non-toxic. It works really great, and we're happy to have them on board since it's been a part of our shooting endeavor for a very long time. So go to ballistol.com, talongungrips.com, and also while you're out there, I'm juggling all these things here. Also, while you're on the internet, please do check out our other social media like Hickok45 on Facebook. There's also Hickok45 on Twitter, The Real Hickok45 on Instagram. There's a John_Hickok45 on Instagram where I do some things. There's Hickok45.com. You can find us also on Gunstreamer. So check out all that stuff and then watch more videos.